Here you have a person object. This person object, as you can see, we have this name property, we have this greet function, uh, we have this greet function which closes here, and I also inside this greet function I have this output message which is saying outer.this.name, and I also have an inner function within the greet method, okay, which is saying inner this.name, and I'm having the call for this inner method, and I'm also calling this greet method by saying person.greet. Okay, if I run this program, uh, if I run it, I'm going to have the outer this John Doe and inner this which is undefined. So the main issue, the reason why we are seeing that undefined is that the inner function has its own this context, and it does not inherit this from the outer greet method. And what is happening is that when the inner runs, the this is referring to the global object, which is undefined in the strict mode. As a result, the this.name does not point to the person object, so it becomes undefined. So the solution for overcoming this issue is the use of arrow functions. So I'm going to comment this line here, this function here, and use the arrow function instead of using this normal function. Now, if I run this program again, I'm going to see the outer this John Doe and the inner this John Doe. The reason why the arrow function is working for me is because the arrow function does not have their own this. They inherit it from the outer function. If I say they inherit it from the outer function, first of all, the outer function of this inner function is here, is the greet method. Okay, this is the greet method. So remember, the greet method have the access to the this, and we have seen for the first time we saw the for the first time we had this John Doe, which means that the greet function, this outer, is having access to the this. But this normal function ina will not have the access to this, as it refers to the global object, and this in and this inside this normal function ina is undefined, that we have seen here. But with arrow function, they inherit their own this. They don't have their own this, but they inherit it from the outer function, which is now allowing us to see the output of John Doe.